Hi, Christian. Everyone says XLOOKUP is the best option to use for finding values in a lookup table. But unfortunately, XLOOKUP only finds the first value. What happens if there are multiple values in your lookup table? Let me show you how you can use the filter formula together with the TEXTJOIN formula to give you those multiple results. Click the link below to find the exercise file. And right at the end, there's an extra tip for you. Let's jump in.
Let us first have a look at our XLOOKUP formula. But before we do that, use your exercise file and convert these two tables, the lookup tables, into actual tables. So you click inside the data, you go insert, and you press the table button. You will see that mine is grayed out because I have done it already. You do that for both of these data sets or lookup tables. And the reason for that is when you work with tables in formulas, it is just much easier to copy a formula down without having problems with cell references that change as you copy the formula down. Now, in our data set, we have an A, B, and C. In our lookup table, we have two A's, one B, three C's. Now, let's see what happens if we use the normal XLOOKUP formula. So I'm going to say equal XLOOKUP. I'm going to say find this for me, where find it in this column. Now you will see if I move to the top of the table titles, there's a little down arrow that appears. I click on that specific spot and it selects that whole range. So I'm saying look up this cell for me in this column of the table, comma, and return for me. Do the same on this side. Click the header, return this column. And I close my bracket and I get green. I can now copy the formula down and let's check the results. A gives me only the first option, which is green. It does not pick up the yellow because XLOOKUP only finds the first unique value in the lookup table. The same with B. B finds red. C only finds blue. Now, what if I want to have the other results as well? So let's look at the filter formula. I'm going to do equal filter bracket. I'm going to say filter for me the colors, comma, where the code column equals A. I'm going to close my bracket. And now I find green and yellow, which is 100% correct. But this is called a dynamic array formula. So it spills the results down. It creates two rows with the results. So I cannot click on the top one and try and copy down. I'm going to get a spill error. So I'm just going to do undo. So what I need to do is I need to combine the filter formula with the TEXTJOIN. What will the TEXTJOIN formula do? The TEXTJOIN formula will take those two values, put them in one cell with a comma delimiter. So that is the correct result. So I'm going to combine that formula with the TEXTJOIN. So I'm going to my formula bar and I add TEXTJOIN bracket. And what it wants to know is what should the delimiter be? I put in inverted commas. I put the comma and then I do another inverted comma and then comma. And then I'm going to select nothing for ignore empty, just do another comma. And then I'm going to close my bracket at the end. And look at the magic. I get that green and yellow result in one cell. I can now copy the formula down and I get the results that I was looking for. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to use the filter and TEXTJOIN again, but use a totally different column in my lookup table. So I'm going to go equal filter again. I'm going to say filter for me. Let's say, for example, country. or category, doesn't matter. Filter for me the category, comma, where the code equals A again. And once again, the filter formula will spill the results, and I need to combine it with the text join. So I go to the top again. I say text join. I'm going to say use a comma delimiter in inverted commas, comma. I'm going to leave open the ignore empty, comma, and close the bracket. And once again, the results now are in the exact place where I want them to be. They are actually now going to the side in one column. And now I can copy this down and I get the same result as the top, not the exact same result, but the formatting of the results, they are exactly the same. Where I had a spill formula, but I now force it into one cell with a comma delimiter. Now I'm going to show you that bonus trick that I promised you. In example 4, I'm going to take the same results as in example 3, but the kitchen and lounge will now be split into separate columns. At the top, when we used filter and text join, the results were in one cell. I'm going to split them over columns. So I'm just going to take that formula at the top to get the same result to start with. Control V. And now I'm going to combine this with the text split formula. So I'm once again going to edit this formula. I'm going to go to the top and I'm going to say text split. Text split. And it wants to know from me the text. That is the text that is returned by the previous formula. I'm going to go to the back. I'm going to say comma. And then it wants to know column delimiter. The delimiter is once again the comma in the original result. Let's close the bracket. And now it splits the results for me into separate columns. If I copy that down, lounge, there was only one result for B, but for C in the previous result, in one cell, we had lounge, kitchen, bedroom. Now we have them in different columns, lounge, kitchen, and bedroom.
Thank you for watching and checking in once again. And please press that subscribe button if you haven't done it before. It will definitely help this channel to grow. And right at the end, follow the 2 links to 2 more amazing tips and tricks for Microsoft Excel. Chat soon.